Alrighty. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Sumo Summary Show. Make sure this is getting my voice. Looks like it is. All right. Only a couple people in the chat now, but I think people will start coming in. It's exactly on time, 11:30 p.m. on Saturday night. So, konbanwa. Good evening to all. I'll say this in the chat. All right. We've got some people from Finland. We've got Ned and Iceman in there. Carol from Ohio. Norberto Satsuma from Osaka. Oh. Bruce. Hello, Bruce. Hello, Bruce. Reminds me of an old Monty Python routine. Straight from Brazil, Norberto. Miss Catalin from the UK. Aaron. Mara from Brooklyn, New York, you know. Guam, Aaron. All right. I went to Guam a year ago. Had a wonderful time there. Can't wait to go back. Won't be this year, though. Hopefully London in October. We'll talk more about that as we get closer to it. Melbourne, David, isn't it like 2 a.m. in Australia? Holy moly. North Carolina, Missouri. Scott, hello from NC, Hawaii. I'm always surprised that Scott shows up. It's like 5 a.m. in something in Hawaii, isn't it? Chattown, Chicago, very nice. Colorado, Canada. Hello from the Shire. Hello, Samwise. Oh, I love those movies. The Lord of the Rings movies are so great. Howdy to Mongoose from Texas. Tucson, Arizona. What's that song? Is that the Eagles song? Or are you talking about I passed her in a truck on my way to Tucson, Arizona, something like that. 4:30 a.m. for Scott in Hawaii. That is dedication or craziness. I don't know. London, hello. Carlsbad, California, Wayfinder. That's my neck of the woods, man. That's where my sister lives. Right near Encinitas. Brad Day. Ohio gozaimasu from Virginia in the USA and Florida for Tim. All right. Well, that's great that so many of you have come by. I want to get started. We want to talk about, hopefully you've all had time to watch matches. I know it's early. The NHK World highlights, maybe some of you watch those, don't come on until 1:30 a.m., 2 hours from now, Japan time. If you're in my Patreon, you've had a chance to maybe watch the videos or other ways. They obviously live streamed today, so maybe you were watching it live, at least the last hour, depending on where you are. Maybe you did that. Inspiration Lady. Yes, you are doing very well in the contest. We're going to look at that later. Wow, Scott has been watching me for 10 years. There used to be more other colors in this, Scott. Maybe you can back me up on that. Now, yeah, it's pretty much all gray. So, but yeah, I've been on YouTube quite a while. I realize that I've been making videos on YouTube now for like 18 years, which is older than any of my students that I teach at my school, which is crazy. If you go back to my original channel, My Argonauts, I think I put up my first vlogs in 2006. And I think I put up some sumo vlogs even on that channel in 2007 or 2008. And, then my actual sumo channel that was the big one started in 2010. So yeah, it's a long time. Okay, just finished the videos. Great, Bruce, thank you. Satsuma has been watching for 15 years or so. Isn't that amazing that we've been doing this, and all the changes in sumo too in that time. If you've been watching sumo as long as I have, you've seen so many interesting things happen. Yeah, just before Hakuho retired. Great. Okay, hello to Wegwazen. All right, let's jump in. So I'm going to share and hope that it doesn't go crazy. And let's look at what happened today. All right, here we go. Okay, make sure I have to go back over to the other screen. Make sure that it's not all black or something, and you can see the Sumo Association homepage there. Good morning. Shout out from LA. Daniel, I hope everything's going well over there. I'm obviously representing my brethren in the fire mecca of LA at the moment. I hope things are okay where you are. Yeah, Nabatame, we're going to get to him, Eli, in just a moment. Okay, so let's start with absences as we always do. I don't think anybody pulled out today. Nope. So that's good news. Everybody's going to stick around to day 15 and we'll go into matches and results. And we'll start down in Juryo. Okay. So Nabatame at 9 and 3. Wait, am I on the right day? Oh, day 12. How did that happen? I'm like, that's not the right match. Okay, day 14. Let's try again. Hello, it's January 25th, at least for another 24 minutes. Okay, so Oshomi got his Kachikoshi here. Good for him. Fujiseun got his Kachikoshi by beating Dai Shoho with a dastardly 1 and 13 record. Tomokaze evens out at 7 and 7 with a loss, so he will be fighting for his Kachikoshi tomorrow. Then we get up to this block of 3, and these are the important matches. Aonishiki fighting Shirokuma got a win to go to 11 and 3. Shishi beat Koto Eho, so he is still in the lead all by himself at 12 and 2. Well, he wasn't in the lead all by himself going into this match, right? He was tied with Ryuden. But as you can see here, Ryuden lost today to go to 11 and 3. Nabatame also 11 and 3. So Aonishiki, Nabatame, Ryuden all 11 and 3. And then Shishi at 12 and 2, all alone. Kotoeho knocked out of contention, now at 10 and 4. Hakuyozan is able to even out at 7 and 7 by beating Tsurugisho. Mitoru gets his Kachikoshi. Asakoryu got his Kachikoshi with a terrible henka. It's called a Hataki Komi here, but it was a terrible henka. Sadanoumi gets his Kachikoshi at Juryo 1, so he'll probably get promoted back up to the top division. And I say probably, but it's pretty much a done deal. And Kaio is still alive. He's at 7 and 7 now at the other Juryo 1 slot. So if he can get a win tomorrow, he will get one of the promotion slots up to Makuuchi. So, it's tough. Nabatame, as good as he's doing, is not going to get promoted up to Makuuchi, even if he wins the Yusho. But Shishi and Aonishiki have a very legitimate claim, as does Ryuden. So I would say all of those guys, and I mean, in between them and Juryo 1 is Asakoru. He got a Kachikoshi. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting see what they call for promotions. All right. Checking on comments here for a moment. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Good to see you, Fernando. Greetings from Chile. Buenos dias. Buenos dias just means good. What is hola? Hola is hello. I don't know why I couldn't think of that for a second. All right. Ohio from Israel. Mark, hello. Tim, hello. All right. Back over then. So, really fun stuff happening down in Juryo. I put some stuff over on Patreon. We'll see it when we go over there. And of course, I'll have some of the key matches for you tomorrow on day 15 if you're a Patreon person. Okay. So, let's jump up to top division. All right, Nishikigi evens out at 7 and 7 by beating Kageyaki. He's going to get demoted down to Juryo. Tamawashi Ye, a 9th win, having a great tournament, beating Nishiki Fuji. He's already got his 8 wins at M17, so he's set. But Tamawashi can get double digits, match his rank, and go to 10 and 5 tomorrow with a win. Onokatsu 7 and 7, so he'll be fighting for his Kachikoshi tomorrow. Oshoma got his Kachikoshi today. Congrats to him. Hakuoho got a 9th win by beating Endo at M15. Ichiyamamoto 7-7 now. Shonana Umi got his Kachikoshi. Midori Fuji 7-7. So we're going to definitely have some Darwin matches tomorrow. I haven't even looked at the matchups yet because I don't publish them until later, and I just didn't check. Gonoyama 7-7 by beating Tobizaru. Tommy Fuji beat Mitake Yumi. And then we get into the meat and potatoes. So Oho, on the leaderboard with 3 losses, 1 behind the pace, got a win, beat Takanosho, Makekoshi for Takanosho. Then the big match between Kimbozan and Kirishima. It was a good match. Kimbozan had a nice move to get the win, and he goes to 12-2. So he is all alone in first place, as we'll look on the leaderboard in a minute. Kirishima's knocked out. He's now at 10-4. But certainly you got to call this the comeback of the tournament, and I hope he gets an 11th win tomorrow. Takayasu gets his Kachikoshi by beating Abi, which was unexpected. So Abi now, kind of, it's between him and Wakataka Kage for the Sekewake slap, and who knows, maybe they'll promote Kirishima and he'll leapfrog over them and take the Sekewake slot because, his score is so much better than theirs. Ura was able to beat Wakataka Kage. He's never beaten Wakataka Kage in like 7 previous meetings, and he went to 7-7. So that was a big match for Ura personally. And of course, it keeps his hopes alive of getting Kachikoshi. Kind of an also-ran match. Chiyoshima just totally, letting things go at the end here after starting so strong. But he's at 8-6, and Wakamoto Haru just adding a win to, pad his descent down the Banzuke. Then Daisho getting a 10th win against Hirada Umi. That's important because, I think Daisho could be trying to get to Ozeki this year. And I'm going to root for him. I like Daisho. I think he's a strong, consistent Rikishi. I wouldn't say he's Yokozuna material, but I think he can certainly put up 11 wins here. He gets a 10 or 11 in March, and then May, everybody will be talking about Ozeki. Our Ozeki clash, if you can call it that, between Kotozakura and Onosato went to Onosato. Kotozakura put up nothing in the way of defense and had no offense or pep or anything. Something's clearly wrong with him, and he lost again today to go to 5-9. And then the big match at the end was the contender showdown. Both men 10-3. The winner stays in the hunt. The loser is eliminated, and the winner went to Hoshoru. They'd only fought one other time, and that was when Takeda Fuji actually won the Yusho back in March, and Hoshoru was one of the few people that beat him that tournament, and they haven't fought since. And then today, it was all Hoshoru, and he picked him up off the ground at one point. So he is now 11-3. All right, let me check in on the comments. Yeah, Hoshoru already beat Kimbozan, so they won't fight. We'll look at who's fighting tomorrow. It's probably going to be Oho. Yeah, Kirishima, it was close, but I don't know, Aaron. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to sneeze. All right, we're going to hold my nose here for a second. Yeah, Kirishima's on my team too. So I actually kind of wanted Kirishima to win that a little bit. And also, it just would have made it even more spicy tomorrow with the playoffs and things like that. But Kimbozan is doing what he's got to do. He got a win yesterday, got another win today. If he wins tomorrow, doesn't matter what anybody else does. The Yusho is his. Thank you, Daniel. That's very nice of you to say. I appreciate that a lot. Can Hoshoru get promoted if he doesn't win the Yusho? Absolutely not, UFO. Yeah, no. The only chance he has is that he goes 12-3 tomorrow and wins the championship, and they look and they go, well, he finished really strong, and that we really need a Yokozuna because Terunofuji retired. But I think a lot of sumo fans won't be happy if that happens. I think a lot of sumo fans will be happy if Hoshoro wins the Yusho, I mean, he still has a chance, but they'll want him to do it again in March to become the Yokozuna. So, I doubt it will happen, but he has to win the Yusho. That's unmistakable. Um Daniel's asking if July is a good time to come to Japan. I'm sorry to say, Daniel, no. I mean, it's wonderful that you can come and you can certainly see sumo. You have to go to Nagoya, which is not Tokyo and it's not Osaka. So that's one thing. It's not off the beaten path. It's a huge major city in Japan, but it's not a major tourist destination. And it's hot as hell. And it's not just that it's hot, because a lot of places are hot. I grew up in Texas. Texas is hot. It's that it's really humid and there's no central air conditioning anywhere. And I can't recommend it. You can still make the best of it, but you're going to be walking around some temples and just sweating your balls off. So just be prepared. Just know what you're getting into. And if you're a thin, healthy person, maybe it won't be so bad. But if you're a big guy like me, I try not to go outside too much in July when I live here. And even then, it's bad. So there you go. Yeah, I really do hate the heat. I don't hate the heat so much. If I could go inside, um, I'm actually gonna sharing here just because I feel like we have to. I say this all the time and people don't understand. So let me try to explain. Okay, so at my school, which is a very typical school, there's an air conditioning. There's air conditioning units in my staff room where my desk is, and I sit between classes when I don't have a class, and then you open the sliding door and you go out into the hallway, and there's no air conditioning. So you go from a room that's maybe 25 degrees C out into 30 degrees C, and it's hot. And then you have to climb stairs and go up to your classroom, and you go into that classroom, and it's air conditioned again. And so you're like, oh, okay, hopefully. And then you're like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. So you go out into the hallway, and it's hot as hell, and you go down to the bathroom, and there's no air conditioning in the bathroom. So you sit there and you sweat while you do your business, and then you got to climb the stairs again. And it's just not good. It's environmentally not good. And if you have to go outside for any reason, to go out to lunch or to go to the post office or do anything during your day, it's really hot. And you get in your car and it's broiling, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, like I said, I'm a big guy. If you're overweight like me, then it's obviously worse. But even Japanese people, oh, it's sui desu ne. Oh, it's sui ne. We all talk to each other all summer long about how hot it is. So there's a reason when you watch the Nagoya Basho that everybody's got a fan and everybody's doing this. Now the new arena is supposed to have super duper air conditioning and be brand new, and I really want to go and check it out. But just getting there on the train and walking through the train station, which is not air conditioned, okay, and then getting outside and getting on a bus or getting in a taxi, and it's just hot. It's hot. And I think about all the fun stuff there is to do in Japan, like walk around shrines and like go to Kyoto and go up those hills. I don't know how many of you have been to Kyoto, up the hill to Kiyomizudera, the famous falling water temple, and doing all that walking and hiking, to get up there, and then walking all the stairs up the temple and everything in the heat, 30, 35 degrees C with like 80% humidity. It's rough, man. It's rough. So just know that if you want to come in July, August, or September, I don't recommend those 3 months if you can avoid it. That's just me. I am thin and healthy. Oh, Satsuma's saying I hate Japan and I'm thin and healthy. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Shoma retired? Wait, no, what now? What now? What now? What now? Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I think the September basho is probably better than the July basho if you can choose when you come, because September is a little cooler and the basho is in Tokyo. So you get to go to the Kokugikan and, that's more central to all your sightseeing and stuff that you're going to be doing. Um, so yeah, I would pick September over no, July if I had a choice. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it can get up really high. Have Caucasians won both Juryo and Makuuchi simultaneously before? Yeah, we could have a thing tomorrow where we have a guy from Kazakhstan win and a guy from Ukraine win the Juryo division, which would be awesome. Um, both happening like a Baruto, Tochinoshin, Kotooshu thing. I doubt it. I doubt that we've had two Caucasians win before. I'm sure we've had two foreigners win before because of how dominant Mongolians are. But yeah, you might be right, easily ignored. Uh yeah, I mean, Daniel, everybody here is into Shohei Otani. I don't watch a lot of baseball, but I have to follow Shohei. So, but I'm from San Diego. I like the Padres, but they're usually not very good. But this year, they got to the playoffs. I was amazed. All right. Any tips for getting sumo tickets? Um, I mean, obviously, you guys know that I always trust Jeff and his crew over at buysumotickets.com. So go over to their website. Just check when pre-orders open for May. March is already tough. I'm already hearing that he's not accepting any more pre-orders for March, and those tickets haven't even gone on sale yet. I think they go on sale in early February. So if you want tickets for May, I would get on his website. Just be careful if you use another, like Viva GoGo or one of these secondary seller sites, or if you know someone in Japan that can buy for you. But Jeff, that's what Jeff does, really. That's what his service is. So, you have to pay a little bit more, but I think it's completely worth it because you can totally see what seats are there, what they look like, where they are, how much they are, and everything, and choose, and then put your order in, and he's pretty good. Oh, okay. Mara is saying that she's coming in May and she tried to pre-order certain seats on a certain day and couldn't even get them. So yeah, see what's available. Okay, hi. Let's go back to my Sharon. Dun, dun. All right. I'll make sure you can still see me. It's not a black screen. Okay, good. All right. So that is who won and lost today on day 14. So let's look at our leaderboard. So we got Kimbo's on all alone at the top. Hoshoru and Oho one behind. These are the only three guys that can win the Yusho now. So one of those three will be your champion. Same for down here. It's either going to be Shishi or one of these three guys as the champion in the Juryo division. Ryuden, Aonishiki, or Nabatame could win if Shishi. Well, he would have to lose his regulation match and then then there'd be a playoff, and then he'd have to lose the playoff. So he has to lose twice tomorrow to lose the Yusho. Same with Kimbozan. He'd have to lose his regulation match and then lose the playoff. Okay, and then the other things I talked about last night on the show, all of these divisions, their champion has already been decided. The other thing we get on Sunday is the special prizes. So it'll be interesting to see who gets a special prize. And if we look at tournament records, I just wanted to look at Juryo real quick. So we've got Sadanoumi, already Kachikoshi, so he should be getting promoted. Kaio has a chance tomorrow. You can see here his opponent is Hakuyozan. Shiden's not a factor. Asakoru is in line. He's got Koto Eho, who's having a really good tournament. So he could go to 9-6. He could go to 9-6. He could go to 8-7. Then you've got Ryuden, who's got Tohakuru. and he's obviously could win the Yusho if things go his way in a playoff. So all four of these guys have, well, Kaio not yet, but all four of them have a legit claim to promotion ahead of Shishi and Aonishiki. And Shishi, obviously, I think if Shishi wins the Yusho, he will trump, some of these other choices, and they'll find room for him at Juryo 4. So he's got Tomokaze tomorrow. We're going to look at the matches in a minute. And Aonishiki has Nabatame. So those are the guys that are going to get promoted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for certain already, should get promoted. 6 if you count Kaio if he wins tomorrow. And that's a lot. So we'll have to see, after when I do the wrap-up show, what we're looking at as far as who did badly in the Makuuchi division to get demoted. And then we'll see. Bushozan will be going down to the 3rd tier division. Who else is going to get demoted down? Shimazu Umi will go down at 3 and 11 at Juryo 10. He should get demoted down. Daiseizan at 4 and 10 at Juryo 9 should be safe. Diamami will be going down. So there's going to be a lot of movement. Koto Eho is doing really good at 10 and 4. He had to pull out Waka Ikari, but he was safe with 9 wins. Nabatame is obviously going to be going up, and then Daishoho with his 1 and 13 at Juryo 14 will definitely be going down. So we'll look more at that tomorrow after we know who won and lost. Okay, so let's look at it. Back over and read the comments for a second. Pearl Cab, I kind of agree with you. I think Shichi's Tachia is weak at times, and I definitely think he's an up and comer, and he's doing well. He does well in Juryo, but when he gets up to Makuuchi, I think he's going to have problems yet again fighting the higher skilled, more veteran wrestlers. So, yeah. Enho 6 and 1, easily ignored. Yep. And he should go up from his current rank into Makushita. I think he'll be in Makushita. I think next time is he Sun? He's either Sandamne 44 or Sandamne 4. There's a big difference. I can't remember. Anyway, he'll definitely get promoted. Okay, if he's Sandamne 4, then he'll get promoted up to the 3rd tier division. So that's great. He's 0 and 2 against Tomokaze. That's interesting. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So Mudaho is Oho's little brother. So wow, that'd be interesting if one brother won one championship and the other brother won the other. I mean, it would have been fun if like Wakamoto Haru and Wakatake Kage were both Sekewake, but that's definitely not going to happen. But yep, we'll have to see. And so he'll go up to Juryo. So that'll be good. He could come up to Makuuchi later in the year. Do you know how one can become a supporter of a Heiya from outside Japan? Captain Shelby wants to know. Well, you can go onto Wikipedia, and all their addresses are published on Wikipedia, so you can write them. But I would say that's where it comes down to language. You probably need to know Japanese or use Google Translate and hope that it's okay, and translate your letter into Japanese. And you can certainly write fan letters to wrestlers and to Heiya. I don't know what kind of response you get, but I know that people do that. More than that, that's kind of a Chris Sumo question. That's kind of where he excels. So maybe go ask him. I don't know if he actually talks to his fans. I think he looks down on his fans, but that's just me. Okay, so let me go back to day 14. Let's start down in Juryo. So we know the big matches. Got some guys from Makushita coming up to fight. Tomokaze. Oh gosh, I'm on the wrong day again. Darn it. Why do I do that? Okay. Still do have some guys from Makushita coming up. They both have already got their Kachikoshi, though, so they're just coming up to fight. Let's see here. Okay. Navatame Aonishiki. That's a fun one. So one of these guys will obviously stay in the possibility of a Yusho. The other guy will get knocked out. So I'll definitely have that match for you. Then Shishi has Tomokaze, and as somebody pointed out in the chat just a minute ago, he doesn't have a good record against Tomokaze. Tomokaze is a big veteran who has been in the top division before. When was the last time? Yeah, he was in Maegashira back in May, and he's been as high as Maegashira 3 in his career. So, yeah, he wins this, though. It's his Yusho. Nobody can touch him. He'll go to 13-2 and be the champion. He loses, he goes to 12-3, and then one of these guys would fight him in a playoff, and Ryuden, if he wins, would go to 12-3, and he would take. So we'd have a 3-way playoff, which would be really exciting. And I don't think we've had one of those on the channel in a while, so I'll explain how that works tomorrow if it happens, and I'll definitely have footage of that for you on the Patreon. And he's also fighting. Ryuden's also fighting somebody that's 7-7. So they gave Ryuden and Shishi, both wrestlers, fighting for their Kachikoshi. Asakuru has Kotoeho, and both of them already have Kachikoshi. And then Kaio, trying to get that 8th win at Juryo 1 to get back up to the top division, has another guy who's 7-7. So that's a fun matchup there. And then 8-6 versus 8-6 for the final match of the day. So, yeah, I definitely will have the Aonishiki match, the Shishi match, and the Ryuden match, and then any subsequent playoff, unless Shishi wins his match, and then in which case it's a done deal. All right. Up to the top division for what's going to happen on day 15. Check in on the comments because I always want to make sure. Hey, Jason. Hey, Colin. Sumo Food Channel. Okay, somebody's talking about a Sumo Food Channel. Mongoose just survived. Awesome. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming by the live stream. Okay, let's look at day 15. Tamawashi, interesting, starting the day off, at M10, but the very first match of the day against hapless Koto Shoho, 4-10. It's close, man. If he loses tomorrow and goes 4-11 at M13, I think he's going to get demoted. Nishikigi fighting for his Kachikoshi against Oshoma. Hakuoho in the first half against Takayasu, but both men already have Kachikoshi. Chiyoshoma just back down to the rank and file because, an unspectacular finish after a spectacular start. 8-6 now against 8-6. Onokatsu going for his Kachikoshi. Here we go. Here's a Darwin match. Midori Fuji Gonoyama. Only one man will get his Kachikoshi. Let's see. Tobizaru, Meisei, both are at 6-8, though. All right, here we go. So, Kirishima, Takeda Fuji, now both men at 10-4. Not part of the race, but I bet you one of them will get a special prize if they get an 11th win. They've been doing that kind of conditional special prize where you have to get one more win on day 15. So one of them gets 11 wins. I bet you they get a special prize. Then it's really early. Kimbozan Oho. Okay. So Kimbozan 12-2 against Oho 11-3. Pretty obvious. Wins the Yusho. Oho wins, gives him his third loss. They're tied. There will be a playoff. Now, why is this important that they're fighting so early? Because look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more matches go by, which is about a half an hour of real time where they get to go back into the dressing room and rest before the playoff. And even more, really, because after the final match, there's the Koriyori Sanyaku here before the final 3 matches and other things. So it'll probably be more like 40 minutes before they have to come back out and fight again. Whereas if Hoshoru wins and beats Kotozakura, which he should, to be in the playoff, if there is one, he only gets like 5 minutes to rest before he has to fight again. So that's a big deal. So these guys will be, benefit from fighting this early if Oho wins. If Kimbozan wins, the Yushou's over, and he's the champion. Oho for sure will get a special prize tomorrow. I would be gobsmacked, as they say, if he does not. We have a fun little Darwin match here. Ichiyamamoto Wakatakage. Abi also at 7-7, fighting Daisho, though, for his Kachikoshi. Then kind of, why, guys? Why did they put Wakamoto Haru versus Endo? Both have losing records in the third to final match. They should have put Sekewake, Daisho, and Abi up here, so they're part of the Koriori Sanyaku, and let these guys be in the fourth match. These guys don't deserve to be in the triangle at the end with this kind of crappy record. You know, put these two guys, let them have a little bit of the spotlight. I don't agree with that. All right, then we have Onosato fighting Ura. That's going to be a huge crowd favorite. The Kokugikan goes crazy when Ura fights, and if he can beat Onosato to get his Kachikoshi, that'll be louder than anything Hoshoru does in the final match of the day. But Hoshoru, of course, he'll know what he's fighting for at this point. He'll either have seen Kimbozan lose, in which case he knows he has to win to be in the playoff, or he'll have seen Kimbozan win, and he knows it doesn't really matter if he wins or loses because he can't win the Yusho. He needs to win the Yusho if he can, if there is a playoff, so he can then maybe win again in March and legitimately become the Yokozuna. Kotozakura is showing up for work, but man, there's something going on with him. So we'll have to see if he can come back and erase that Kadoban status in March. All right, so there are your matchups. And yeah, they're not going to put any of the special prizes up. This is where they go if you want to look for them. They'll be announced tomorrow morning. I think they go up about 9 or 10 a.m. And here are the other champions. As we said, we already know some of the other divisions. All right. What do we got going on? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure adrenaline kicks in for Hoshoru if he's going to be in that playoff. And he might have been in a playoff before in his career. I don't know that he has. If somebody knows in the comments, if you want to leave it, he might have been in a playoff before, whereas I doubt, well, I know Kimbozan's never been in a playoff, and I don't think Oho has either. So he's got that kind of seasoned, been there, done that kind of quality that, but he's a fairly new Ozeki too. He's never won a Yusho as an Ozeki, Hoshoru. He didn't win a Yusho in 2024. His only Yusho was in 2023. So yeah, somebody left me a money or something back here. Hold on. I saw it and I went by it. Okay. Eli. Not now, but can you do a video segment on what the Gyoji say and the story behind the dagger they have? Eli asked me. And thank you for the $4.99. That's really nice of you. I would, but I'll tell you what it is, and I'll put it in the chat here, Eli. It's called Sumopedia, and it's over on the if you go to the NHK World website, go to their Sumo page. They have this thing. If you scroll down, it's called Sumopedia, like Wikipedia, but and they're little short 2 and 3 minute videos, and there's like 80 of them, and they cover like every aspect of an FAQ about sumo. So they have one about what is the Gyoji shouting. They have one about what he's wearing. They have one about his paddle. They do all of that. Why do they throw salt? What does this mean when they win? They all of that is on there, and it's a really good resource. So go check that out, and that'll answer a bunch of your questions. And I leave that link down in the description of each Sumo Summary show because it is such a great resource. So yeah, check that out for that kind of information. Okay. Shishi has one of the weakest Tachiais in the top division. He reminds me a little bit of, I can't believe I can't remember his name. Who was the really tall guy, you guys? He was like 2 meters tall. He was in Hakuho's stable, and he got kicked out of sumo about a year ago. he's kind of like that. Like he's kind of big and lumbering, and he just kind of goes for, So I agree his tachiai is not scintillating. Hokuseiho. Yeah, I kind of know why I couldn't remember his name. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, so, but he's still, he's not young in the sense that he's young in age, but he's still new. He's only been in the top division once. So he's got some time. Shishi. Let's not count him out yet. But he's definitely got things he can improve, right? Could I say hi to Vegan Jesus from Vegan Sumo? He's always there in the contest. Oh yeah, let's look at the contest real quick. I think Rick has like a 2 or 3 win buffer, just dominating. Yeah, 3 win buffer. So he will be the champion of the contest. He can't, because his team is so similar to a lot of other people's teams, he can't lose 3 points. Nobody can gain that much on him. So he will be the champion. He will win the Tegata prize if he wants it. If not, he can have the calendar and other things. And then we'll see how many of you end up in second place. So right now there's 7 of you. I'm sorry, Inspiration Lady, you're in third. If you can make it up to second, you'll be eligible for a prize. And I will take care of the second place people with something from Japan. So hopefully it's not 17 of you that all get second place, but it might be a bunch of you. I am doing okay. I think, yeah, here I am. I'm not even that far down. So 37 of you are better than me right now. So my team is doing pretty good, and they should have a good final day. But I've got a lot of the same people that, I've got Hoshore. Everybody's got Hoshore. I've got Wakatakage. Everybody has Wakatakage. Literally everybody has Takakura Fuji except this one person who has Midori Fuji and wishes he had Takakura Fuji because he'd be in second place all alone at 60 points if he did. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I announced the winners and talk about the prizes, etc., in the wrap-up video, which will come on Saturday, February 1st. So I'm going to wait until then to make the wrap-up video, but we'll look at it on the Day 15 Sumo Summary Show as well. So congrats if you're in the top few positions there. Over on the Patreon page, let's see, collections. Let's make sure you guys are seeing this. Nope, you're still seeing I didn't switch tabs when I switched tabs over there. Okay, so let me hit sharing. And then I'll hit share again. That's weird. All right. I had 9 videos for you today over on Patreon, and I love that thumbnail that I got of Kotozakura at that match. Daisho. Nice thumbnail there for Wakamoto Haru. Both Komusubi matches in one video. The Oda match there. Kimbo's on Kirishima. There he is. Could be our champion. And Oho Takanosho. That started my top division coverage, and then I had some Juryo matches to start the day off. Ryuden Nabatame and the 2 Ukrainians are down here in the very first video of my day. So thank you to everybody that's gone by and signed up. I think I'm over 500 now paid members, so that's great. And we'll be back strong in March. March is graduation season in Japan. And my junior high graduation is Saturday, March 8th, which is nice because I was thinking it was going to be the 15th. So that's the day before the sumo starts. So it shouldn't impede my day 1 coverage on Sunday the 9th. And then school ends on the 19th. And then there's a national holiday on the 20th. So my sumo coverage should be fairly strong in March. I'm hoping that's the case. Black screen. Okay. Did it fix itself? Okay, now okay, good. Yeah, sorry about that. Scott, see you. I don't know if you left already, but if not, see you. Thanks for coming by, man. Koto Zakura's ankle is a real problem. Yeah, he has a lot of tape fill-up on his knee as well. So we find out a little bit more about what could be the problem. They don't like to disclose anything during the bus show, I guess fearing that maybe their opponents will exploit a weakness or something. So they're never very forthcoming with what's ailing them during the tournament. But afterwards, we find out, oh, you went to see a doctor for this, or oh, this was really bad or something. And they're more forthcoming after the tournament is over in that kind of 6 weeks before the next tournament starts. Satsuma, yeah. I like to pick some of my favorite guys too. I mean, back in the day, I always used to put Okinaumi on my team, and it rarely paid off well. So, but now I just kind of pick, I was going to pick Onosato really this time, and I went, I think Hoshoru maybe is going to step up and do it. So there we go. Okay. We shouldn't be black now. Are we still black? Oh, somebody tell me, because I stopped sharing. Oh, back to black. Gone again. All right. Somebody leave a comment if we're still okay. Oh, it's okay now. Okay, good. Whew. All right. Are you going to open a box of Sumo Packs live stream? Daniel, absolutely, man. I'm probably going to wait until February 1 will be the wrap-up video. And then February 8, maybe? February 8, maybe that weekend, 8, 9, I'll probably do the unboxing and do that live on camera. I didn't get anything good from my first box, but I did well as far as like making the set. I only need 6 cards, which is good for a BBM. But yeah, I didn't get anything special. No autograph, no treasure card. So hoping in the next box, and then I'll have a third box that I'm going to give away. So Rick, if you're watching this and you really want that instead of the Tegata, that's a possibility. But I'll probably save it and give it away in March. Your beard is visible. Yeah, it's kind of getting weak on the sides here. I gotta go this way. No, this side. This is kind of old man happening right here. Right here, it's really good. If I just get a goatee, but I just do this every now and then because so few of the Japanese professors have any kind of facial hair. It's not a big thing for Japanese men. Um, some do, but not a lot. And so, I get 2 weeks off in the winter. It's nice to have a beard in the winter. So I grow it usually in January just to give my kids something different to look at. I'll probably shave it in February. But yeah. You think Koto Zakura will sit out March since he's Kadoban anyway? Ooh, Philip, no. He has to show up in March now that he's Kadoban. Because if he doesn't get 8 wins in March, he'll be a Sekewake in May. So he will definitely, I mean, if he has to sit out because he just can't fight because of medical reasons, that's going to be really tragic because he has to come back in March. Not only come back, but get 8 wins. Because that's how you get demoted from Ozeki. So yeah, let's hope that whatever's ailing him can be at least functional by the middle of March. Can you read my comment that I posted further up and give me your opinion, Jason? Sure, Colin. Let me go look for it in just a second. Tegata is guaranteed signature. Oh yeah, the Tegata that Jeff is selling over on Buy Sumo tickets. Those are authentic. The guy, the wrestler actually touched it with his hand, signed it by hand. There's official stamps on it. They're not the $10 reproductions you buy at the souvenir booths. They're the real thing. And they're usually worth $100, $150, $200, depending on who it is and how old it is and things like that. So, yep. Did I ever sumo Eli? No. I mean, my kids would play with me at recess when I used to teach elementary school and stuff because I'm so big. But no, I've never done it. I wouldn't be good at it. but I really like watching it. I'm Rick. Oh, ABCDEFG. Okay. Thanks to your feed, the tournament has been amazing to follow. Yeah, you've been kicking ass, dude. Thank you for the beard comments. Do you think sumo will go back to like the good old days, 4 tournaments throughout the year? No, no. I think the 6 tournament a year thing is here to stay. I wish they could change the rules so when you have to pull out for an injury, you don't lose so much of your rank. And there's some way they could figure out to have that not be so detrimental, so sumo wrestlers weren't so worried about it. But I don't know. I personally don't know how to solve that problem, but that would be good. Okay, let me look for Colin's comment a few up so I can see what he said. Easily ignored. It says thank you for staying up. You are very welcome. I don't mind on a Saturday night when I don't have to get up on Sunday. I've been rewatching Daredevil season 3, and man, that just reminds me how good that show was. All right, Colin, where are you? Let me find you here. I'm trying to read other things here. Oh, it's a ways up here, Colin. Okay, here it is. Can we please cut the amount of time they get to warm up to something like 2 or 3 minutes? The amount of time the warm up takes is ridiculous. Do I agree with this? Is what you're asking me, Colin? A little bit. And for a while on my channel, I used to, how when I start my videos, okay, I almost always show the kanji, right? Here's their name, in the middle is their record. Then they show their head to head. This is the NHK, right? And then they stare down, they throw salt. And sometimes that, like you said, it can be 2 minutes, it can be 3 minutes, and I have to kind of fill in that time talking or let Ross or Murray or somebody talk. And I was like, yeah, people are probably tired of hearing me talk. And it's kind of like I start repeating some of the same stuff as we get more and more into the basho, because the story narrows its focus, right, as we go through a 15-day tournament to the end result. And so I start saying, well, this guy is, this, and this guy's going to be 7-7, and blah. So I even hear myself being repetitive. But when in the past, when I've like gone, okay, I'll cut all that. I won't show the kanji. I won't show the head to head. I'll just click my record button, like almost right as the tachi is going to start, maybe the last salt. People get angry. And I almost invariably get a ton of comments saying, don't cut that. That's the great part about sumo, is all the tradition and all the ritual. And I love seeing that. And I love seeing them walk out and do that. So for all the people like you, Colin, that think like, oh man, it takes so long. There are all these other people that that's a big part of why they like the sport. So it's hard for me to, balance it out. So obviously you have a fast forward button, or you have a click that you can click on the video and, hop a little bit ahead. That's basically what you got to do. When I use my DVR to make videos, if you're on Patreon, Colin, you've noticed that, when I come home from work in the weekdays, I'll fast forward. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to put 2 matches in this one video, and I'll fast forward, and I'll cut that stuff out. And most people don't mind, but yeah, it is a conundrum about how much of the pregame I should show. But it does give me time to kind of talk about the wrestlers and stuff like that. And so, but and two, the other thing is as they get toward the end match, if they haven't had a long match, if they haven't had any mono-e judges conferences, they have time to fill. So they actually ask the wrestlers to stretch a little bit, and they'll kind of walk slower and so yeah. Whereas if they had to like get everything done by 6:00, they had an injury or something and they had to bring out the big wheelchair. All that takes time. So at the end, they're like, okay, get to it. Let's go. Let's go. Other times they're like, oh, stretch. We got plenty of time. So it really just depends on the day as well. All right. Da, 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 da. Yeah, Ben One Eye. I think that the interesting thing is if both Wakataka Kage and Abi both are 7-7, they both get 8-7. Will they promote both of them to the empty Sekewake slot? They're kind of equally. I mean, I know one's East and one's West, but come on. So I think we should have 3 Sekewake if they both get Kachikoshi. Have Daisho and Wakataka Kage and Abi, and they can do that. there's no, we've had plenty of times we've had 3 Sekewake. So I hope they do that if they both win. Uh, no update, Joe, on the Hakuho Miyagino stable. What's going to happen? That's not going to happen until like June, when Isagahama hits 65 and has to retire. And then who's going to take over the stable? Are they going to let Hakuho go back to being his own guy? That'll be summer when that all happens. What time is it in Japan? Daniel asks. Right now it is 0:25, so 12:25 a.m. Easily ignored, answered for you. Yeah, you can't please everybody. Hello, Laura. You are a channel member. Thank you so much. Yeah. That's true, Eli. I realize that every basho is probably somebody's first or second basho. So I try to straddle being knowledgeable and saying stuff that longtime fans will find interesting, and being, oh, this is what this is, and saying, trying to help you with some of the Japanese words. And because so many of you have messaged me over the years and said, my channel was the channel that got you interested in sumo, or how you discovered sumo. And I know for me, when I first discovered it, was Murray and John Gunning and all the commentators on the NHK that helped me understand by listening to the play-by-play in English. So there you go. Yeah, so here's Mongoose. He loves the clanking of the planks and the Yobidashi singing out the names, and a lot of people really like that. So yeah. Well, I like to, I want everybody to be happy if I can. I'm one of those guys. Yeah, Takami Sakari. Well, it's funny, Ben, when you say that, because Asakoryu down in Juryo definitely has kind of a thing he does now where he muscle poses. And Kotozakura has that face that he makes. And Hoshoru lately, it's really been about slapping his mawashi. He really hits it hard 4 or 5 times right before he starts. And some of them have little things. Nobody kind of goes to the length that Takami Sakari did. If you guys don't know him, just Google him and watch some of his matches. Or remember the guy, was it Terutsuyoshi? Was that his name? And he would put this mound of salt and just do this massive salt throw right before he would go out. Every now and then some of them have this kind of signature thing. So the Terunofuji retirement ceremony Weg was in is asking about. Yeah, when he's going to cut his chonmage. I haven't heard, but I definitely will know about it when it's coming. That'll be a big one. Anytime it's a Yokozuna retirement ceremony, that is a big one. I think Aonishiki and Shishi both have a good chance, Duncan, of going up to Makuuchi, but like I said, there's guys ahead of them rank-wise with winning records. So it really is going to depend how many open slots there are. They can't deny Aonishiki or Shishi if one of them wins the Yusho. If they win the Yusho, they will get promoted. But the other guy that doesn't and ends 12-3 or 11-4 might have to just go up to Juryo 1 and wait one more basho. How am I still awake? Oh, I'm fine. I'm drinking some Dr. Pepper. So I'm okay. All right. Oh, cool. Anki Sumo. All right. That's cool to know about, Mark. Yeah, I try to learn some of the Kimarite, but I've been doing this a long time. I have that app I showed everybody the other day that every now and then I'll just look it up or something. But Uwate Dashi Nage and Oshidashi, and you learn them over time. Don't worry about that. Oh, okay. About San Diego. Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, I hope the fires don't go down there. I don't think they will. All right. I think that's any news about Asanoyama, Ben One Eye. That's a good question. Yeah, I looked him up. No, but he's obviously now down in the 3rd tier division, and so he's only expected to fight 7 times a basho, and he didn't show up at all. So he'll continue to drop down. So it's not a question, I think, of will he come back. I think he will, but it's will he get back to the top division ever again? And does he have that in him to fight back up again? Enho took a long time off, for instance, in Hakuho stable and is now making his way back up. And I think he'll get up to Juryo. I don't think he'll ever make Makuuchi again, Enho. There's just too many big guys. But you never know. And so, yeah, when I hear about Asanoyama, certainly when he comes back to fighting, I'll mention it for sure. All right. Satsuma's asking me, do I have any favorite football, meaning soccer teams? Well, my dad, my dad is from England, so I grew up watching a lot of Premier League. He was a big QPR fan, Queens Park Rangers, but we also watched just about everything. He liked Chelsea as well, so I watched a lot of Chelsea growing up. Um, I don't watch a lot. Um, but I love the World Cup. I love when that happens every 4 years and the national teams play. Um, and I always root for America. We never do very well, but Japan, we probably do better. I've rooted for Japan for the past 20 years and they do fairly well. And the Japan women in the Women's World Cup do amazing. So it's fun to root for them. But yeah, I really like the World Cup. I don't follow Premier League very often. My niece married a guy named Alex, and Alex is parents are from Mexico, and he loves soccer, and he's a huge Manchester United fan. And they actually flew to England to see a Manchester United match last year, and so he's really dedicated. And he gets up in San Diego and goes to a pub to watch the matches at like 6 in the morning and things like that. So yeah, there's definitely big soccer fan. And the World Cup is going to be in America, right? Is it 2026? Is it next year or is it 2028? I can't remember. But yeah, so that'd be fun for me to go back to America and try to go to see some World Cup matches. But yeah, in real football, darn it, I'm a San Diego Charger fan. LA Chargers now. But I will try to watch the Super Bowl. It's on like Monday morning at like 8 a.m. here. So I'm going to work and I tape it and try not to have anybody spoil it for me at work. But nobody really talks about football. But I do have one American coworker. And so every now and then Kevin will come over and say something like, oh, did you hear about what happened in America yesterday? And he'll tell me about, usually it's terrible news, like some school shooting or something. But every now and then, I'm worried that he's going to come over and go, oh, did you hear the Eagles beat they won the Super Bowl? I'm like, don't tell me. So, but anyway, Trucker has been a member for 17 months. Thank you, Trucker. Okay. Yeah, I really would love, and Paris, yeah, I mean that's going to be so fun. They're going to do 2 like exhibition matches in Paris in the summer of 2026. So that'll be great for European fans. And I really am hoping to maybe go to England in October to see the sumo. That'd be so much fun. Oh, really? They've already gone on sale. The cheapest and worst seats were around $1,000. Wow, Eli, that's crazy. Yeah, it's just crazy now. You have to pay for live sports in America. So sumo's still reasonably okay. Um, any plans on a Las Vegas trip soon? Trucker asks. I love Vegas. I'm going on a cruise. Did I tell you guys that yet? I'm going on my first ever cruise. I don't know why. It just kind of came to me. And there's a cruise leaving Tokyo and going down to Okinawa and going over to Taiwan, and then it comes back. I was going to go on one that kind of goes around Japan and then goes to Korea, but you have to fly back from Korea to Japan. And this boat that I'm going to go on, it's a Norwegian cruise line, so it's like an American cruise line. It goes down and comes back to Tokyo, so it's a lot better. And it's during a holiday we have here in Japan called Golden Week in early May. And I get a bonus at the end of March. You get a bonus when you're a teacher here for the end of the year. So I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm going to go on a cruise. Never done it before. And I just want to see what it's like. So Las Vegas. So I'm just on cruises. The reason this made me think of it is on cruises they have a casino, and I do like to gamble a little bit. I like to play roulette. I like to play the slots, um, and that's fun. I don't, I'm not excessive. I love Vegas, but I haven't been in a while. I went to the casino, the Indian casino in San Diego when I went home in 2024 for a day. Which did I go to? I think I went to Paula, if you know any of the casinos down there. Um, and I just have fun. It's just fun for me for a few hours. It's like taking my mind off of things, and you just kind of have fun. Maybe you win some money, maybe you don't. But the people I went with are these like older British lady relatives that are friends of my mom and dad before they passed away, and they raked it in off the slot machines. It was funny. Um, all right. So I'm just gone completely off topic now. We're not talking about sumo at all. Yeah. But I'll talk more about my cruise when it gets closer. And the funny thing is, the cruise I was going to take at the end of March, when it's kind of my spring break, I would have missed day 15 of the Sumo Basho. And this is how crazy I am. I actually went, should I do that? Would people be upset if I don't show day 15? That actually enters my thinking right now. So I'm taking care of you guys and not leaving, but I am going to go on a cruise in very late April, early May. So yeah, I do want to work on a cruise ship. So this is kind of my chance to see what it's like, to see what the pub trivia is like, and things like that, and how hard it is for me as a big guy to walk around the boat and things like that. So yeah. All right. Jose just came in. Yeah, well, I'm going to go to bed, but I'm going to wake up tomorrow and have full sumo coverage for you for day 15. And I will put up a sumo summary show tomorrow night. So come back for that on the YouTube channel. Thanks for coming by. There was like 116 of you, a lot of thumbs ups. Thank you for the thumbs ups. It helps other people. And we've been on here for an hour, which is pretty long for one of these live streams. So thank you, everybody. I think it's going to be a really exciting day tomorrow, both in Juryo and in Makuuchi. So check however you watch sumo. If it's with me on Patreon, thank you. If it's someplace else, enjoy. And I will see you tomorrow for sure. And then the wrap-up show. And Rick, you're in the audience now. We'll anoint Rick the champion. Will probably be on February 1st. Okay, take care, everybody. See ya.